Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? All right. I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you also got a chance to go through a couple of, the notes and things, the content which has been sent to you. Yeah. Vinod, I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thanks for asking. All right. So welcome once again to the IELTS Masterclass program. It's really nice to have you all in class and also to know that everybody is very enthusiastic. Super. Good job. Today, we will be moving on to a new question type. Last week, we completed the speaking module and started with the reading module. What we are going to do now is a quick recap of the techniques, the question types that we did in the last class, and then we'll start with the new question type, okay? So does everybody remember the techniques that we learned on the day one of the reading module? Can you just type the names of the techniques or the method in which you go about using these techniques in the chat? Okay, Dr. Lino, brilliant. Yes, Dr. Rakshanda. Some more messages, please. And also, what are the steps you need to follow? What exactly do you do in skimming? What is it that you do in scanning? Can you quickly just jot down the keywords and send it to me, please, everybody? Okay. Yes, Jeshma, you mark keywords. Absolutely. What else? Anirudh, Yash. Okay. First sentence of every paragraph, keywords and synonym. Excellent. Read the first point of all the paragraphs and then read the questions. Excellent, everybody. Very nice. Good job. Superb. Brilliant. I'm really happy that you all remember. Okay, so let me just do a quick recap from whatever information you guys have given me. The two major techniques in the reading module are skimming and scanning. Skimming is done before you look at the questions. You need to look at the first line of every paragraph, understand the first line so that you know the context of every paragraph. After that, you move on to the questions. Read the questions and mark the keywords in the question. Also read the questions properly. Don't read anything superficially. You will miss out the answers, okay? So read the questions carefully, mark the keywords in the questions, and based on the keywords, you will have to figure out where those keywords or their synonyms are present in the passage. Look around those synonyms and keywords and accordingly answer the questions. Correct? Now, today I will also be sharing a small addition to whatever I've taught you so far in terms of techniques. Again, remember, I'm doing it step by step so that I don't confuse you with excessive information. All right. What did we do in the last class? Somebody has messaged, we completed sentence completion. Absolutely. So we started off with sentence completion. I'm just going to, whoever would like to volunteer, please raise your hand. I will unmute you. Just explain what sentence completion means. Okay, and what is it that you need to do in sentence completion? I will summarize it after that. Whoever would like to do a quick recap, raise your hand. I will unmute you. All right, superb. Hi, Yash.
Hi.
Hi, so are you Yash Patel or?
No, Yash Simaria.
Okay, Yash Simaria, because there are two Yash in the class. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I led it. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, we have to, use the exact word which has been used in the paragraph. And we have to, find out if we have to carefully look for the requirements, like it is one word only or number, or two word, no more than two words and a number or a number. So whatever the requirements, we have to read carefully and then identify the exact word which has been used in the space of the blank.
Great. Thank you, Yash. Very nice and very well explained. Thank you. So sentence completion basically is fill in the blanks, okay? And you will have individual sentences. Remember, the sentences will only have information from the passage. The only thing you need to remember about these question statements or these fill in the blank sentences is that your sentences or the question statements will have synonyms. They will not have words as it is from the passage. So you need to be very careful and understand those words, understand the fact that you will get synonyms. However, when you write your answers, they need to be as it is from the text. You will not even change the format. Last week on Friday, Aloshi had asked me this question: is it okay if I change the format of the words which are the answers? No, you cannot. If your answer is molecules of water, you have to write it as it is, molecules of water, and you cannot write water molecules. All right. Now, apart from this, you need to look at instructions. So, are you all able to hear me? Just give me a thumbs up or just say yes in the chat. Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Also, I would like everybody to switch on or turn on their videos, their cameras. Great. Right. So as I was saying, it is also very important to look at the instructions and understand the instructions properly. All right. If you miss that out, your answer is going to be incorrect. Right. Not just that, when you pick up the answer and put it in the blank, make sure that it fits perfectly and the sentence is proper in terms of grammar also. Okay, which means if there is a certain synonym given, don't repeat it. Okay. For example, if the question says, and in the passage it says, the two friends plan to meet around 5 p.m. The answer will simply be 5 p.m. because around at has replaced the word around. So you cannot write at around 5 p.m. You have to just write 5 p.m. Okay. Or if it says over here, meet at 5 p.m., you will simply write the number and you will just write the time. You will not repeat at again. Some people end up writing like this. They will meet at 5 p.m. Are you getting my point? So please don't do something like this. Don't repeat a word which is there in the sentence itself. That is incorrect. Okay, you will not get any brownie points for that. Am I clear? Any doubts, any questions? Okay, if everything's clear, just type a yes so I know. All right. Okay, super. Another thing that we did in the last class after sentence completion was short answer questions. Now, short answer questions also follow the same rule. And what's that? Skim, go to the questions, read the instructions properly, because even for short answer questions, you have instructions. Correct? Read the instructions carefully and mark the keywords in the questions. Find out where the answers are based on the keywords or the synonyms given in the questions. Correct? You even for short answer questions, it is necessary you follow the instructions carefully, right? The instructions don't change. The only difference between sentence completion and short answers is that sentence completion is fill in the blanks. Short answer question is the same thing given in question format. That's the only thing. All right. It's not very difficult to understand. Any doubts or questions in sentence completion or short answers? If not, you can just write no in the chat. Aparna, if you're talking about What do you mean by heading format? I'm just going to unmute you. Hold on. Yeah. Can you ask me your question, Aparna?
Yeah. So yesterday I was just going through some other, random websites for the reading test. So the paragraphs were like, there was the heading and then there were like one line sentence related to the heading. And then it went on to the other paragraph. So should we do the same format, like reading the first line and then going to the question? Or
but what question type are we talking about? And
fill in the blank.
For fill in the blanks itself? Yeah, read the heading and read the first line of every paragraph. Okay. Read the subheading and read the first line of every paragraph. Follow the same method.
Okay.
All right. Now, understand that first line is not just for sentence completion. It is important that you do it for everything, so you know the flow of your the passage. That's all. Okay. So that you don't waste time first looking at the questions, reading the question, going back, looking at the text, again going to the question, reading the question. Then 100 times you'll just keep going back and forth and read the passage as many times as the number of questions you have. So you're just going to end up wasting time, which is why we're doing the skimming technique to ease the whole process. Are you all getting it? Yes? All right. So today we're going to start off with a new question type, which is again very similar to what we did last week. We are going to understand what summary completion is. Again, very simple, the same method. We will look at a few examples and I will also give you an activity to do. After summary completion, we are going to move on to multiple choice questions and understand the two main kinds of multiple choice questions. All right. Okay. Is there any doubt in last week's class? All clear? Just give me a thumbs up. Guys, is everything clear? Okay, great. Also, please interact because I don't want it to seem as if I'm the only one talking, which is why we're trying to keep it as interactive as possible, irrespective of the number of people who are there in a batch. All right. Thank you. Now, what is summary completion? Summary completion is similar, or rather that's also fill in the blanks, but the format of the question is different. So as usual, you have a reading comprehension passage, and instead of individual sentences, like we saw in sentence completion, here what they do is they pick up a small portion of the paragraph, summarize it or paraphrase it, rewrite it, okay, to make it very simple. They rewrite it and give you blanks in the question statement. Instead of individual sentences, a small paragraph is rewritten, restructured, and given to you with blanks in between, just the way it is given here. Okay? Look at it. It's a small paragraph with blanks in between. They're not individual sentences. But what have they done? They have basically summarized or rewritten this particular they've rewritten some information from this passage, probably used synonyms and given you blanks there so that you can pick up the most appropriate terms. Okay. Again, in summary completion also, it is important that you understand and read the instructions. Okay. Before we look at the question, what do? We have to obviously skim through the text. Please remember, the examples that I'm showing you or the activities that I'm giving you, which are present in the PPT, they only have one paragraph, so you understand the concept. Once you understand the concept, you will, please remember, you will always get a longer text only. You will not get individual passages, individual paragraphs. Okay. Over here, only for ease, and so you can understand the concept, I've only picked up one small paragraph and given you some activity related to that. Okay. So now what I want you to do is quickly go through this text. I understand skimming has to be done since it's just one paragraph. There's also another thing you can do. Go through the first sentence. And the best thing to do while you are skimming, please remember, I'm adding a small little trick in this also. While you are skimming, another really interesting thing you can do is mark some words which are striking to you. Okay. For example, eat wild boar, moose, long distances or travel long distances, food, male tiger, weighs more, female, bigger, other species, linked to extinct Caspian tiger, brown bears, capable of killing tigers. Number is there, so mark that also. 8% diet, Russian conservatives protect tigers, wolf population under control. What have I done? I have skimmed through my passage. I've read the first line. I'm just adding a small little, it's like adding a pinch of salt, okay? While you are skimming, going through the first line and understanding the context, mark, underline, or highlight certain words which are striking. So here, what all words are striking? Eat, okay, because they're talking about the Siberian tiger, travel long distances, food, difference in the weight of male and female tiger or any other tiger species, because I've just picked up keywords and highlighted them. Okay, linked to extinct Caspian tiger, brown bears can kill tigers, 8% of diet. Okay, who is protecting these tigers? Russian conservatives. Why? To keep wolf population under control. So I haven't read the whole text. I am still doing skimming. By reading the first line, I still am able to understand that they're talking about Siberian tigers in the USSR. Context is set. But why am I marking these keywords? So that when I read the questions, pick up the keywords from the questions, I will be able to exactly figure out where the text has been picked up from, where the summary question has been picked up from, and what answer I need to select from the actual passage. Are you all with me? Have you all understood what I just mentioned right now? Is there any question? If no question, we can go ahead and solve the summary question, summary completion question type. Dr. Leenu, Divya Teja, Aloshi, Stency, Anila. Is it clear? Just give me a thumbs up, please. Aparna. Okay. Great. Okay, now that you've understood, from now on, okay, along with skimming, we are also going to go ahead and highlight or look at, because now you can't highlight at this point in time. In your exam, you will be able to. Even if you're taking paper-based test, you can underline or you can circle, whatever. If you are taking computer-based test, you will have the tool to highlight. And that will not vanish. It will be there on the screen. So you can use that tool and mark the striking terms or important words that you can see in the passage. So your work basically becomes extremely simple rather than reading the whole text. Okay. Now, what do we have to do? It says choose no more than 2 words, which means my answer can be either a word or 2 words only. If it is a number, I have to spell it. Correct? Now, I want you to do this on your own. We've already done sentence completion. I want you to try this on your own and send in the answers in the chat, all the 4 answers at the same time. Okay? I'll give you guys 2 minutes. And I've also marked the keywords for your ease. All right, this is not a very difficult activity, guys. Come on, send in your answers in the chat. And please remember, the questions will always or mostly have synonyms. I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute. All right, let's discuss the answers, okay? So the first statement says the main habitat of the Siberian tiger is in the low mountainous areas of the former dash. It's there in the first sentence itself. The Siberian tiger can be found in what was the USSR. What was the USSR? So Russia was formerly known as USSR. They look at the grammar. What was the USSR? So former USSR, or you can write former Russia, former USSR. The answer is correct. Everybody who's written USSR, good job. It hunts a variety of animals like wild pig. Now, just to help you with this, wild pig is the same as boar, wild boar. Okay, it's the same thing. So you only have to write another word, which is moose. So the second answer is moose. Third, it is similar genetically to the dash, Caspian tiger, and Russian conservatives want to control the number of wolves by protecting the Siberian tiger. All right, this was pretty simple. Most of you got the answers right. Just remember, wild pig is the same thing as wild boar. It's a synonym. Okay, so understand. If wild pig is written in the question and there is no word like wild pig in the text, then obviously there's a problem. They will not add anything extra even in your question to confuse you. They will only use synonyms. All right, so those who've written boar and moose, it's incorrect. The answer is only moose. If you get confused, please remember, even in the passage, they've given only 2 animals, wild boar and moose, correct? So if wild pig has been written, okay, you can just look at the word wild also. I'm giving you the easiest way to understand what it can be, okay? Match it and then go ahead and write moose, because there's nothing like wild pig, wild boar and moose. That's not how they've given. So they will not give you an extra or a different term or a different animal or a new concept in your question. Okay, good job everybody. Let's do one more. This. Onto your left hand side is the passage. The instruction says no more than 2 words once again. You have to fill in those 2 blanks. Send me your answers. Shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes. And this time, along with skimming, also pick up those words which are striking, or look at those words which are striking, and then do the rest of the activity. Please send in your answers. You shouldn't be taking this long unless you're reading each and every word in the passage, and that's not what I want you to do. All right. So the first answer, good, I've got everybody's answers. I'm just going to quickly discuss it. Okay. Computers sit on every desk. This is talking about some computers, messages, etc. Computers sit on every desk and are linked to one another, and in many cases to an external universe. Here, literally, there was no usage of synonyms. The questions have been picked up as it is from the text. Okay. So here it says to an external universe of other computers so that messages can be passed to and fro. All right. And then they're talking about the correspondence. It's somewhere right here. Now the correspondence between individuals goes from desk to desk and cannot be accessed by colleagues. Now I know it only says 2 words. And my answer can't just be correspondence goes from desk. Just desk does not make sense because it says desk to desk in this case. So how can you write it? In case this is the instruction, Stency, perfect. Okay, I will just put it in the chat. I'll put it here. So you can write it as desk to desk. Okay, because that also means to when you look at from so and so to so and so time, or from here to there, you put a hyphen or a dash. Okay, you can write it like this. Now, if the instruction was no more than 3 words, you could have gone ahead and written it as desk to desk. Is it clear, everyone? Again, I will just give you one heads up. In your examination, these questions will not be little as complicated as I am giving you. They will be very straightforward. I'm only doing it so you get the experience and you're able to sort of focus on it and get better practice. That's all. Okay. Generally, they'll not give you such tricky ones. Okay. Everybody, your answers are perfect. Good job. Is it clear? Any doubts, any questions? All clear? Okay. Anila, what's the, any questions, Anila, or are you saying no doubts? Okay, great. Okay, no doubts. Then I'm going to put you all in a breakout room. Okay, we know this trick. We know this activity. I'm going to put you guys in breakout room. In the group, I'm going to share a summary question type with you. Please discuss with your group members, and I'll give you about 5 minutes. Finish the activity, come back, we'll quickly discuss and move on to the next question type. All right. Not more than 5 minutes also, guys, because I really need you to move on to the next question type also, and I need you to solve all these things fast. Okay. Please join the breakout rooms. Rana, I'm going to assign you to a breakout room. We are doing summary completion, again, similar to fill in the blanks. If you are not here, you will anyway get the recording, all right? At least be a part of it. Please join the breakout room, Rana. Let's wait for the others also to join us from the breakout room. All right. Is everybody back? Yes, perfect. Okay. So how was the activity? Good? Confusing? Any doubts? You can please type in the chat and let me know if it was good or bad or confusing. Guys, are you there? Bit difficult. Okay. Need more time. All right. What about the others? Good but confusing. So let me just tell all of you. Dr. Lino, I'll come to you just a second. I think I told you this in one of the classes last week, that it is important to obviously know these tips and tricks and solve them according to exactly the way I'm telling you. All right. But apart from that, please spend some time and read, maybe read some books, magazines, blogs, articles, read. Get comfortable with the language. Get comfortable with reading. Very, very, very important. These tips and tricks will definitely work, no doubt about it. But also read and get comfortable with the language. All right. Dr. Linu, please unmute. You have a query. You want to say something?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Linu. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, it went on well for me, but then I had like one query.
Okay.
For the fourth one, like if I write it as rounded interior, is that okay?
No, I'm going to do each and every question. I'll just get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the first paragraph talks about who invented the Rubik's Cube, and it's clearly mentioned here what it was called. So originally named the Magic Cube, Rubik's Cube consists of a number of smaller cubes organized in. So in this particular paragraph, in the third paragraph, so here they're talking about where he got the inspiration from, how did it look like and all of that, comparing it with the Chinese tangram. In this third paragraph, he talks about how the smaller cubes were organized, and he says his design consisted of a cube made up of layers of individual cubes. Again, please remember, keywords, synonyms are being used. Are you getting my point? And they have restructured the statements. All right. The smaller cubes can be twisted in almost any way, which is the same thing as, and each smaller cube could be turned in any direction except diagonally, though not diagonally. Okay. How should you have done it? First, understood by reading the first sentence, the context. Along with that, pick certain words which are striking. All right. The cube's dash is shaped in a way that allows smaller cubes to move smoothly. Okay, so this is the next statement. No, sorry. Yeah. It says, however, this is proved. Sorry. Yeah. The cube's interior is shaped in a way that allows the smaller cubes to move smoothly, right? So it says here, however, this proved to be impossible. So Rubik then solved the problem by assembling them using a rounded interior. This permitted them to move smoothly and easily. Now, why is the answer not rounded interior? Look at the sentence. The cube's rounded interior is shaped in a way, or the cube's interior is shaped in a way. Grammatically, if I say rounded interior, I wouldn't have to write the word shaped in a way, or I don't have to write the phrase shaped in a way. Dr. Linu, are you getting my point? Dr. Linu, please unmute.
Hello?
Yeah, Dr. Linu, are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I say the cube
Now I
rounded
got
interior, the statement is incorrect then. Is shaped in a way will not come. It will just directly be the cube's rounded interior allows the smaller cube. But what is given in the question is shaped in a way. So the cube's interior is shaped in a way that allows smaller cubes to move smoothly. Each side of the smaller cube has a different color, and the aim of the puzzle is to organize the cubes so that the colors on the sides of the larger cube are identical. Where is it given? The last statement. Again, you should be able to pick up keywords and try and match it with whatever is there in the text. I do understand maybe 5 minutes was very short for some of you, but we cannot spend a lot of time, okay? Because you will have about, at the most, if you're taking the paper-based test, per passage, 15 to 17 minutes, because you will need time to transfer answers to a separate answer sheet within the 60 minutes time. And if you're taking the computer-based test, at the most 20 minutes per passage, not beyond that. All right, so you will have to practice a lot more and solve things faster. Okay, and finally, it says the manufacturers of the puzzle changed the name of the cube to the name of its inventor. I will show you where it is. I have to clear my screen. Yeah. So in the last paragraph, it talks about how the name was changed, or the Rubik's Cube was named after the toy's inventor. Now, I can't write the manufacturers of the puzzle change the name of the cube to the name of its toy's interior. No, its itself signifies Rubik Cube or the toy. So the answer is inventor. Okay, it has now sold more than any other dash in the world. It's here. It's, yeah, in the last line. Rubik's Cube is believed to be the world's best-selling puzzle. Okay, since its invention, more than 300 million cubes have been sold worldwide. It's not cubes, it's not anything else. The answer is, it has now sold more than any other puzzle because it clearly says it's the best-selling puzzle. And they've given you the number of cubes that have been sold. Is it clear, everybody? Any doubts? Any questions in this activity? I'll give you a minute, quickly type if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can just say no doubts. And those who found this text confusing, are you now able to understand that it really is not as confusing as it seems? And you will have to answer, because otherwise I really wouldn't know if you've understood or not. Yash, Jeshma, Aparna, Rakshandan, Divya Teja, Rana, Anisha, is it clear? Okay, all right, great. Now let's move on to the next question type, which is multiple choice questions, okay? After multiple choice questions, we will be closing the session and we will deal with other questions tomorrow and day after, okay? So multiple choice questions are what? We've been doing MCQs, so to say, from probably school or college, right? And multiple choice questions basically in IELTS are either unfinished sentences or questions or some information from the passage along with some 3 or 4 options given to you, out of which one is correct. Okay, that is one kind of, or one or many are correct based on the kind of multiple choice question. So basically finding information from passage, but you're given options just like KBC show. Correct? That was multiple choice questions also. There are two kinds of multiple choice questions. One is multiple choice single answer. One is multiple choice multiple answer. Now, I'm going to tell you what multiple choice single answer is. You basically have a passage, obviously, reading comprehension passage. We know that very clearly now. Multiple choice single answer is, like I said, an unfinished statement, question, or some information from the passage, which has 3 or 4 options, out of which only one is correct and present in the text. Clear? To confuse you, I'm talking about some distractors. Maybe all options are some way or the other present in the text, but they are not correct. There's just one option out of these 3 or 4 which is correct. That is multiple choice single answer. How do you do it? Obviously, you will have to do skimming, reading the first line of every paragraph to know the context. And while you are skimming, now, like I just taught you some time back, mark certain words or circle or underline certain words which are keywords and striking in the passage itself. Then go to the question, read the question. What is it asking you to do? You have that specific thing or the specific question that's been asked, right? What do you have to do? Pick that keyword and look at the options. In the options also, you will be able to understand where what information is given, and according to the question, match it. We'll do one together. Okay. It says, rice that fights global warming. Okay. More than half, I'm reading the first line carefully and then marking the striking words. More than half the global population relies on rice as a regular part of their diet. So what are they saying? Maximum people across the globe consume rice. Okay. Rice paddies, downside for the planet, produce 17% world's total methane, even more than coal mine emissions, 10% of total. So some plant biochemist at the Pacific, wherever, spent past 10 years, a genetically modified plants that, rice plant that emits almost no methane. So what have I understood in this? That maximum people across the globe, they consume rice. However, rice paddies, okay, or the fields with rice, where you grow rice, there is a problem, a downside. What is it? And downside is maybe not for people, but for the planet. What is it? It produces as much as 17% of methane, which is a dangerous gas. Okay, methane emission. It is also, they're also comparing this with coal emission, which actually is less than rice, methane emissions from rice. That's what they've told us. And they're talking about this scientist or a biochemist who has now created a genetically modified rice plant, which actually produces no methane at all. Now let's look at the question. What are they asking us to do in the question? They're asking us, what is the negative effect of rice? Okay, so let's quickly run through the options. Regular part of more than half the world's population's diet. Now, this is not the negative effect, correct? It's just an information which is present in the passage. It is the regular part of more than half of the world's population's diet. This is not a problem, and they've not mentioned it as a problem. So I'm going to remove it. I'm going to throw away this option. Second, rice paddies emit more methane than coal mining industry. Okay, this could be the option, but I'm not marking it as final option. There could be something more specific. It is present, but it's not very specific. They're asking us, what is the negative effect of rice? Its plantations produce 17% of the world's total methane emissions. This also could be the answer. Let's look at it at the end. And finally, Rice has genetically modified salt, SUSIBA2, which is harmful for health. Now, this has not been told. We don't know whether it's harmful for health. So this cannot be my answer. Now, there are two options out of which only one has to be selected, one which is correct. Yes, rice paddies emit more methane than coal mining industry. But what is the negative effect specifically of rice? They are not asking us the question, what is the negative effect between coal, or what causes or what produces more methane between rice and coal? So what is the answer? This also cannot be my answer. My answer is its plantations produce 17% of world's total methane emissions. Is it clear? So what did we do? We went through the whole text, not reading the whole text, skimming and marking the striking words, going to the question, understanding the question, reading each and every option properly, and eliminating or discarding or removing the ones that we don't need and picking up the most appropriate one. Is it clear? If it is clear, I would really appreciate if you can type a yes in the chat. Don't show me thumbs up now, just type yes, because sometimes I'm not sure of who all are saying, showing me thumbs up. Great, great. Now that you've all understood, let's move on and do an example. Okay. Another activity. This is your activity. You will individually do it and share your answers in the chat. I will give you about 2 to 3 minutes. Please do not read each and every word. Please. Once you get the answer, please send the answer in the chat. Just one more thing, I'm sorry to disturb you guys. Whenever you're sending answers for multiple choice questions, just send the option letters. If it's A, just type A. If it's B, just type B. Or if it's C, just type C. Don't type the whole sentence, that's all. 2 more minutes and we'll discuss. Vinod and Anisha, everybody remember this is multiple choice single answer. You have to pick just one answer from the option. You can't have 2. I'll tell you one more thing. In multiple choice single answers, you will have either 3 or 4 options only. So you can pick only one. For multiple choice, multiple answers, I'll show you another how it looks like. I'll explain it to you. Okay. And another easier way to know, in multiple choice single answer, you have radio buttons where only one answer can get selected. Okay. All right. I've got a variety of answers. Some of you have written A, some of you have written B, some of you have written C. So now let's look at which is the most appropriate answer and why. Okay. So yeah, our first paragraph does not have this particular answer. It is basically talking about, It's just giving us an introduction, all right, and how there was an expansion of agriculture in Australia. All right, so this is not, first paragraph does not have the answer to the question. Now let's look at the second paragraph. It says positive advances in farming technologies, adapted agricultural methods which to the harsh Australian condition. Very important was dry farming. What is dry farming? Let's quickly mark. Hold on. This was the discovery that repeated plowing of fallow, unproductive land could preserve nitrates and moisture, allowing the land to eventually be cultivated. This is what my answer is, and I know it, right? I can see it. It's very evident. Now, let's look at the question and the options also, all right? The question is, what is dry farming? We figured out where this information is. What are they saying about dry farming? Repeated plowing, okay? Repeated plowing of unproductive land. Fallow is, again, unproductive. Fallow, unproductive land. What does it do when I repeatedly plow an unproductive land? It preserves the nitrates and moisture, and then it gets cultivated, okay, or can be used for agriculture. Let's look at the options. It says option A, preserving nitrates and moisture. Second is plowing land again and again. Third is cultivating the fallow land. The first point is one small part of dry farming. The second option B is another small part of dry farming. Why? Because the first sentence of dry farming, they're saying repeated plowing of land or plowing the land again and again. That it doesn't stop there. What does this plowing do? It preserves the nitrates and moisture, and hence it cultivates the, eventually the land can be cultivated. Okay, it leads to the land can be eventually cultivated. So our answer is option C. This is one part. This is a second part of dry farming. So final result is what? Fallow land is cultivated. That is our answer. Is it clear? Is it clear how we got answer option C as our answer? Dr. Linu, you were right, but I don't know why you changed your answer. Okay. Do not get confused. Sorry, Vinod, you had written A and B. So you could have just understood that and then figured out the answer is option C, right? So you guys are able to understand. It's just that read carefully, understand each and every sentence carefully. Don't just pick a small piece of it. Clear? All right. Now, we have another question type. I'm going to take another 5 minutes. We're just going to finish multiple choice, multiple answers. I will help you understand how that has to be done. After which I will close the class and give you homework for MCQ, both single and multiple answer. Okay. All right. Multiple choice, multiple answers basically is same process. Only thing, you will either have 5 options, 6 or 7 options, out of which you'll have to pick some number of options as given in the question. Okay, you have a passage, you will have an instruction which tells you how many true statements you have to pick from the list of options. It could be 3, 4 or 5 depending on the number of options that are given to you. Is it clear? Yes, we need to do the same thing. What is it? Skimming, read each and every option correctly and pick the most appropriate ones which are present in the passage. Okay, let's do this together. What are we going to do? I am going to skim and mark the striking words for you. We will go through each and every option together and then I will let you do this activity. Okay, fair enough, guys? Okay, it says, Small, I'm reading the first line and then just striking words, okay? Small localized enterprises are becoming ever more imaginative in identifying opportunities to boost tourism for their areas. What are they telling? That these tour groups or small enterprises are becoming very highly imaginative and trying to increase tourism by sort of taking you to certain areas. Okay. Now, unusual attraction, Old Man of the Lake. Name given to a 9-meter tall tree stump. These are keywords because that line is basically telling us what is this Old Man of the Lake. Okay. Over 100 years, largely ignored. Recently, must-see item. Since Jan 2012, tour boats include Old Man of the Lake on their sightseeing trips. Okay, so the first paragraph has introduced Old Man of the Lake. What did we understand? It is a 9-meter tree stump. Okay, the main part of the tree, 9-meter tall. It's in some lake. Many years ago, nobody even bothered about it. But because these small localized enterprises are becoming very imaginative to boost tourism, now it's become a must-see item. And everybody from Jan 2012, people are being taken there. Okay. The next paragraph, let's read just the first line and then mark the striking words. At the waterline, the stump is about 60 centimeters in diameter. The exposed part stands approximately 120 centimeters above the surface of water. It's telling us how the 9-meter tall tree stump looks like. The part which is outside the water, the part which is inside the water. Okay, let's mark the striking words. Stump has been bleached white. Exposed end of the floating tree, splintered and worn. Wide and buoyant to support a person's weight. So they've told us the diameter, the length, the breadth of the tree, which is in the water, all right, in this lake, which is known as Old Man of the Lake. And the part which is exposed, which is outside the water, has been bleached, has turned white, and also has become broken, chipped, old. But it can support one person's weight. That's what it tells me, these striking words. Finally, the last paragraph. Observations indicate that Old Man of Crater Lake travels extensively, sometimes with surprising rapidity, which means it travels a lot. It's not stuck. That tree stump moves around in the lake and also sometimes really fast. Seen virtually anywhere. Boat pilots communicate position, general matter of safety. So just to be safe, because it moves around in the lake, it is not stuck. Okay. Boat pilots communicate so that people who are boating are safe. Clear? Everybody, have you all understood the text? Thumbs up, please. Show me a show of hands so I know. Great. Okay, great. Now let us read the instruction. What does it say? Which 3 of the following statements are true of Old Man of the Lake? So we need to pick 3 statements which are true. Okay. Just changing the color of my pen. It has been a tourist attraction for decades. Second, it is a drifting piece of wood. Third, it is close to the edge of Crater Lake. Fourth, it is owned by a local businessman. Fifth, it can quickly move about the lake. Sixth, it can be a danger to boat users. And seventh, it is too small for someone to stand on. Now, we've gone through the text. I've read out the options. You need to pick 3 statements which are true and are present perfectly as it is from the list of options which are present in the passage. Please send me the answers in the chat. I'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes to do this. Aparna, is there a problem? You've put that
No problem.
Sorry?
Yeah. No problem.
Okay. Anybody who has any issues or questions or doubts, you can put it in the chat. Please send in your answers in the chat. Okay, Dr. Lino has sent Stency. Okay, super. Anila, Divya Teja, Rakshanda. Okay, let's discuss. All right, got a lot of answers. Just a second. Okay. It has been a tourist attraction for decades. The answer is no. It says they only started taking people here from 2012. For more than 100 years, it was largely ignored. So at the most 1 decade, not many decades, okay? So first, A is incorrect, eliminate. Second, it is a drifting piece of wood. Yes, this rather, let me just put a circle. Let's check in the end. It's a drifting piece of wood. How can I say it's a drifting piece of wood? In the last paragraph, it says travels quite extensively, which means it's not stuck. It is moving around. It is close to the edge of the crater lake. Where have they mentioned it's close to the edge of the crater lake? They've only mentioned that it travels. So how do I know whether it's close to the edge of the crater lake, at the center or elsewhere? It could be anywhere. So this is not my answer. It's not even present in the text. It is owned by a local businessman. No, they've not mentioned any local businessman. Instead, they've said that these localized enterprises or tour groups actually are becoming imaginative to boost tourism. So this is incorrect. It can quickly move about the lake. This could be another answer, the second option. Why? Because it says it travels with surprising rapidity. Rapid, fast, quick. It can be a danger to the boat users. This also could be an answer because the last statement says boat pilots communicate its position to each other as a general matter of safety. So it could be a danger. They're not saying it's not dangerous. Just so that they can be safe, they are communicating its position. It is too small for someone to stand on. This is definitely not true because clearly it says it's wide and buoyant enough to support a person's weight. So what are my answers? It is a drifting piece of wood. It can quickly move about the lake. It can be a danger to boat users. Now, when you get confused, look at each and every option. If you've marked something, go back and check that particular statement you think is clarifying it or is a validation to it. Read it and see if it means the same. Otherwise, move on. Is it clear? Everybody, have you all understood why the answers are B, E, and F? Yes, no, maybe. Dr. Lino, Rakshanda, Stency, Divya Teja, Jeshma, is it clear? Yes? All right. Excellent. All right. Okay. So with this, we've completed sentence completion, Short answer question type, summary completion, just another piece of information. You may get something like flowchart completion or table completion also. Please remember the method of solving completion question type is the same. There is no difference. It's exactly the same way we've been doing so far. Okay. Apart from that, we also have completed multiple choice questions, single and multiple answers, and I will be sending you home assignment in the group for this. All right. Also, I've added all of you in. In skillmarathon.tcy online. All right. So all of you have received 5 full-length test papers. Hold on, Anila. Yes. Do you have a query? Please unmute.
Hi, ma'am. Regarding the skill marathon 5 question papers, we were supposed to receive the questions, password and login ID, I guess.
That is going to be in your email. I think I've even mentioned that, even as a message I sent across, you would have received it in your email, the same email ID that you provided to me on the first day. Okay?
All right, okay.
And
I'm not able to log in, so...
You should have received the username and password. Please check.
Okay, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. And you will have to use the same username and password and cannot change it. So make sure you save that somewhere. All right. Do not, just one piece of suggestion, finish all the modules and then do these 5 full-length papers, because if you attempt one now, you will not be assigned the same test again. So use it wisely. But before that, you can use Canvas, because it has notes, it has sample assignments, everything there. Okay, so please do that. And if you have any queries, you can let me know from 7 to 8 anytime. I'll keep the forum open. All right, a quick recap. Today we finished summary completion and multiple choice questions, and we've understood that summary completion is nothing but a small part of the larger text, which is restructured and reframed. And then multiple choice question has 2 kinds, single answer and multiple answers. In multiple choice, multiple answers, you will have check boxes. Okay. And in multiple choice, single answer, you only have radio buttons. This simple way to understand. Okay. Thank you very much and have a great evening. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5:30. Bye.